Hi there, it's Linda here. Thanks so much for joining me today as I play with a few new lawn fawn goodies for another sweet sign for a student's bedroom. So today I was very much inspired by a sweet little card I saw from Lawn Fawn's Kelly Marie Alvarez, and I've certainly used her card as inspiration for my sign today. So I've started off with this great big speech bubble backdrop from Lawn Fawn, which covers your whole card, or in my case sign front, and I've cut it with a beautiful paper tray ink cardstock, and now I've just cut a white piece of backing card the same size, and I'll be creating a little scene with some of the animals from the Say What Pets set from Lawn Fawn, and they'll be sitting on this little hill that I'm going to create, and I've used one of the Lawn Fawn stitched hillside borders, as you can see here, to create my little hill. So the speech bubble backdrop has all these fabulous little speech bubble shapes, obviously, and I have just laid it down on my white backing card, and I'm going to very lightly trace around each speech bubble in pencil, because I'm going to stamp a little animal sound in each of those speech bubbles, be it a sound from a dog, a cat or a bird, because they will be the animals that will be featuring on my sign today. So just working out which speech bubbles I need to fill with these sounds, and then it's a matter of finding all the sounds from the sets I've got that will work. So this little set is the Say What Pets set, and it's got rough and meow in it, so I'm laying them down where they can go, and then filling all my little speech bubbles with extra words from the Critter Chatter Pets set, also from Lawn Fawn. So this features lots of sounds from cats, dogs and birds. So once I've filled all my speech bubbles, I'm going to take a photo so that I've got it on my phone so I know where everything goes. And then I lay everything off on the side, sort of keeping it in order, so that will also help me. Now I decided I was going to use rainbow ink colours, so I'll do all the words or sounds that are on the left side of the sign there in pink, and then the next colour along will be red, or sorry, I should say orange, and then yellow, green and blue. So that's just a little exclamation mark from the set there that I've stamped in that tiny little space. And working my way down, all of these animal sounds are going to be in pink ink. Sometimes I stamp them twice if the speech bubble is large enough and the little animal sound is only small, I'll fill it with a couple of them. So now moving on to the orange, which is again one of the gorgeous colours from Catherine Pooler, and her inks are certainly getting a good workout in my stash. They're so beautiful. They stamp really nicely and the colours are just gorgeous. So moving my way down through my orange words, and easy enough to do with an acrylic block because the words are only small, the space that you're filling is not large. You've just got to basically line it up with your eyes, make sure you're in the speech bubble area. Sometimes you see me moving it around a bit like there just to check on the pencil outline, make sure I'm sort of centering it, and gradually working my way down through my rainbow colours and across my sign front so I get all my little animal sounds stamped. Onto green now. This is Lime Ricky, which is a beautiful vibrant green in the Catherine Pooler range, and then the last one is Fiesta Blue that I'm using, and it's a stunning turquoise blue, one of my favourites. So just stamping out meow meow here, and then grabbing my eraser and getting rid of all my pencil lines because I don't want to see any of them left once I put my cover on. Now Bark did end up with just a little bit of ink missing, so I'm filling it in with a matching Copic colour there. A little bit of liquid adhesive on the back of my speech bubbles die cut, and then I can lay that down over all my stamped speech bubbles. So that will form the background of my scene today. And then I'm going to add 3 little animals on the top. I think these will be enjoyed by my students, a little dog, a little cat and a bird. So stamping them in the Ultra New Crisp black ink, which is good for your alcohol markers. Just checking that I've got good coverage there, pushing down again in a couple of spots that missed. And using the colours that I've listed on the screen for my Copics today. Very simple, very quick, 3 colours for each animal, and it's just a matter of putting a little bit of the darkest colour on, blending that out with the medium tone, and then adding a bit of a highlight with your lightest colour. It's very quick. That's why it's so wonderful, if you ask me, because I don't have a lot of time to spend on colouring sometimes, so I do want it to be something that won't take forever. On to the little cat, putting down some Y15 first, all the way around the edge of him and very top of his tail, then blending that out with the lightest, which is the Y13, right through the centre of the little kitty, and then for the rest of his tail, and then coming back in with the darkest colour, which is the Y17, and just adding some little stripes just to sort of add to the look of his coat there. Just some fine little stripes, as fine as you can get with that tip on your Copic, and that just sort of makes him look a little bit more detailed. Some little lines down his tail as well, and he's finished, and it's time to move on to the sweet little bird on his perch. Just 2 colours for the bird, R05 and R02. Oh, of course a little bit of yellow for his beak and his feet or claws, but otherwise just blending those 2 R markers together, going over just to make sure you've got the blend from the darker through to the medium shade. And then my 3 little critters are complete, and it's time for some fussy cutting. There are dies, I'm sure there probably are dies to go with these, but I haven't got them. So, oh yes, so that's right, I forgot one little space there, so I'm just adding that in my green section of animal noises there. So now I'm using some of the sentiments or some of the extra words that are in the Critter Chatter Pet set. And of course these signs are incentives for my students. They're basically rewards for them for their good, hard, consistent work. So things like "you're amazing" are the sorts of things that I want to say to them, and I want them to read when they see this sign hanging up in their bedroom. So that's why I've added that translation, "you're amazing," to the bottom there, like all the little animals are telling the student that. So fussy cutting out, I usually save money by not buying the dies. That's just my preference, because I'd rather spend more money on stamps. So I don't mind a bit of fussy cutting if it's going to be fairly easy, which these 3 little animals are. Cutting a little bit of foam here, craft foam, fun foam, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to back my hill with that, and then adhering it onto the green cardstock hill with some liquid adhesive, and then using that same adhesive to pop it up on the front of my speech bubble piece. Then using a little bit of craft foam on my animals where they are not touching the hill, and just liquid adhesive straight underneath them where they are touching the hill, and then they're adhered in place. A few little Copic flicks to look like some grass on the hill here, and just to sort of add a bit more detail to the grassy slope. And my sign is complete. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, and I hope to see you back again soon.